Now, elsewhere today, Labour top brass has attacked Nigel Farage for alleged racist and anti-Semitic comments he made over 50 years ago as a schoolboy. But in an unprecedented move, the Attorney-General, Sir Keir Starmer's man, Lord Hermer, has waded in, calling for Nigel Farage to apologise. And coincidentally, on the same day, the Deputy Prime Minister, David Lammy, has also waded in.
I think Nigel Farage should apologise.
I do. You know, I've had a few. I was at school at the same time as Nigel Farage, late 70s, early 80s, and I've had a few former classmates contact me and apologise for some of the racial abuse that I suffered in that particular era. He should do the same.
Well, last week on GB News, Nigel Farage adamantly denied any allegations of anti-Semitism.
I've had huge support from the Jewish community over many, many of my years in UKIP, the Brexit Party, and now with Reform. And yes, of course, since October the 7th in particular, I've been a very strong supporter of Jewish rights in this country, and everyone knows that.
Let's now speak with the barrister and the writer, Stephen Barrett. Stephen, always a pleasure to have your company, my learned friend. I put it to you quite simply. Why on earth is the Attorney-General, Lord Hermer, Sir Keir Starmer's man, wading in on a politically motivated attack of an allegation that's been denied, that probably can't ever be proven? Is this just another part of the establishment's attack to try and keep Nigel Farage out of power?
Well, let me be in no doubt about this, Martin. The Attorney-General has disgraced his office, OK? And I want to point out why it's slightly worse than I think even we're grasping. He's presumed guilt. OK, in this country, we have a presumption of innocence. You are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The Attorney General, who should uphold that principle and all of our noble principles of justice, has presumed Nigel Farage is guilty, and then called for punishment. That is an utter betrayal of everything that our country stands for, everything in our history of justice, and it goes hand in hand with the removal of trial by jury. It just does. These people, authoritarian left-wingers, and they are always authoritarian left-wingers who take away the right to trial by jury in human societies. These people start from a presumption of guilt for anybody they don't like, and they don't like Nigel Farage, so they are presuming him guilty.
Not long ago, I introduced Claude Note, a powerful AI-enabled meeting assistant, and today we're excited to have in hand Claude's latest upgraded version. Is this a platinum credit card? Nope. It's Claude Note Pro, your updated AI-powered meeting assistant. With 4 built-in microphones, Claude Note captures everything and records crystal clear audio up to 5 meters away. But it's more than a recorder. Take photos, jot ideas, mark highlights, and during key discussions, if I press the button just right here, it instantly saves 30 seconds of key audio as a highlight. I never miss important details. And you've got 50 hours non-stop recording on Note Pro, or 60 hours on standby. There's a smart display showing battery life, recording status, and file transfers, so you always know what's going on. Then, Claude turns it into structured notes, summaries, insights, to-dos, even analysis of power dynamics in the room. And with Ask Claude, your contextual AI assistant, you can draft emails, extract data, brainstorm, or find anything across past meetings. And you're safe knowing that your data is yours and completely private. Click the link in the video description to pre-order your Claude Note Pro. And if you'd like to experience Claude Intelligence even earlier, I've got a special offer for you. Use the code GB20 when ordering Claude Note and get 20% off.
With this, they show us what they are: disgraceful, authoritarian control freaks. And I cannot wait for this government to fall. And this type of person should not hold power in our country again.
And Stephen Barrett, as if by magic, David Lammy also waded in on the precise same morning. It had all the indications of a joined-up politicised attack. This is the Justice Secretary. On the same day he's cancelling jury trials, he's judge and jury for Nigel Farage.
Yes, and I'm sorry, Martin. I'm going to call him the Lord Chancellor because I think that's the more noble office that he holds and important in our constitution. And to have the Lord Chancellor and the Attorney General disgrace their offices in a single day, to let down His Majesty the King and to let down us, it's just these people are showing you who they are. Christopher Hope had a brilliant question for the minister, and she didn't answer because she couldn't answer. Why won't they put in a sunset clause? Because they want to remove juries. These are desperately controlling, nasty little people. I mean, they're not terribly brave or strong. I call this a dictatorship, a tyranny of weak men. But they have disgraced their offices. Both the Lord Chancellor and the Attorney General should resign. In a functioning world, they would resign. But then in a functioning world, so would the Chancellor.
Stephen Barrett, I just can't abide the way you sit on the fence every time you come on this show. But on that point, you flattered Christopher Hope there. He has a question for you, Chris. Fire away.
Well, Steve, yes, enjoying the polemic there. But just looking at what Lord Hermer said to The Guardian, he pointed out that 20 people have said or witnessed it or were victims of what Nigel Farage may have said to them at school. And he says that the changing story is unconvincing because Nigel Farage has said initially he didn't remember it, then he denied it absolutely. So he has changed his story, and Lord Hermer is a Jewish peer. I mean, he has a right to criticise, doesn't he, the leader of a party head in the polls. I mean, this is politics, right?
No, the Office of Attorney General is more important than that, and it really shouldn't be involved in rough play and bad party politics. If you look at the very noble and very Jewish shadow Attorney General, you'll not see this type of behaviour from Lord Wolfson of Tredegar. Lord Hermer has disgraced his office. This is trial by media, quite clearly. I mean, you say, evidence put not in a court, not to a jury, but evidence put to The Guardian, who, of course, are desperate fans of Mr. Farage, no doubt. I mean, this is just not on. It's what The Guardian is doing is morally wrong, but they're just The Guardian. What the Attorney General is doing is utterly morally wrong, and he is the Attorney General. He is His Majesty's Attorney General. This is an absolute disgrace for the Lord Chancellor and the Attorney General. I can't phrase this any other way. No other government would have or could behave this way. I don't care what party they are. If Reform form a government, they're going to need to find a respectable person to be Attorney General who does not do this. It's that simple.
Stephen Barrett, barrister, writer and straight talker. Thank you very much for joining us today on the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have your opinion. It sincerely is. Chris Hope, a bit of reaction off the back of that. I do think that a lot of people will be looking at the fact that the Attorney General, his job should be apolitical. He's been appointed by Sir Keir Starmer. He is seen as Sir Keir Starmer's legal attack dog. Surely he has no place wading into a debate.
He's a Jewish man who speaks out about Jewish issues. I mean, I think that Nigel Farage has moved his story from not commenting to denying it. He hasn't tried to say it was a long time ago and I regret anything I said. People say awful things at school. He may or may not have said these things. There are 20 people, witnesses or victims, according to The Guardian, who say that they are concerned about it.
But it's hearsay from 5 decades ago. Anybody could say that about anyone anywhere on the planet. And if there is any actual evidence, surely it would have come out.
It's not damaging them in the polls. I think a lot of people look at what he may or may not have said and think, well, children are mean to each other. But he should. I think so far he's been changing his story, and that's why I think Lord Hermer is stepping in. Lord Hermer is a Jewish man, a peer. He feels he can say these things. I mean, it's not quite right what Stephen was saying. 80% of what the Attorney General does, we never hear about, nor should we. That's the nuts and bolts, the plumbing of government, the legal plumbing of government. But the 20%, that can be politics, and you do see political Attorney Generals in the past. And we may be hearing more from Lord Hermer in coming weeks, even on GB News. So he's keen to get out there, I think, and he's doing it today. He's a Jewish man who sees what he and wants to call it out. And he does say alleged remarks.
Are you saying that his opinion is coming from a position of him being Jewish? I think that's for the birds. I think his opinion on this is coming from a political viewpoint.
Well, I think so.
Just like when he said comments are reminiscent of 1930s Germany recently, which he had to apologise for. Every time he wades in, he puts his boot in it. Perhaps you'll stick to his quill, his legal job, Stop steaming in about the politics.
The rock marked on 1930s Germany, and therefore, by association, the Nazis were given it in a lecture. This is an interview in The Guardian. I think that they are on the front foot over Nigel Farage. They see a way of attacking him. And, I think his answers last week were not convincing at the beginning. He found out a firm denial after that.
It reeks of a joined-up establishment campaign, the kind of thing they threw at Donald Trump in America. I mean, that's what it's starting to feel like.
This is politics. He's a Labour politician attacking a Reform politician. That's what they do.
And he's also Sir Keir Starmer's legal hitman.
That's right.
Okay.
It happens.